What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and welcome to another episode of our First Down Training show. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can get through summer workouts and summer conditioning. So we're going to talk about some things that will help you guys catch your breath quicker, not think so much about the pain that you're going through during summer conditioning, and then some ways that you could actually stand out during summer conditioning. Then we're going to get into some questions that you guys left on a previous episode of this show, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get started. So a lot of you watching this are either about to enter summer football conditioning, summer workouts, or in the thick of it, and maybe you guys are struggling a little bit. So I hope this video is able to kind of help you guys get a hold of yourself and maybe get through the workouts that are extremely challenging. You know, a lot of times, high school football programs, youth football programs, maybe don't do the best type of conditioning per se. They have you running a lot of yardage that maybe you would never do in an actual game. You might be in great football shape, but summer conditioning might be weighing you down because they have you doing 300-yard shuttles, 400-yard shuttles, which is really honestly more than you're ever going to be able to run in an actual football game. Now, coaches probably do this to test you mentally. So see, these are some things like mentally that can maybe give you the edge, help you recover a little bit faster, and then ultimately, like I said earlier, stand out amongst the competition, because even conditioning, guys, is a chance and an opportunity for you to compete and impress your coaches. So first thing is going to help you guys catch your breath quicker. So this is something that I picked up when I was a player, and that's in one and then two quick breaths out. So that's the first tip. So let's say you just got done with the sprint, you got maybe 20-30 seconds rest, whatever the case may be. You go in through your nose and the two breaths out. And if you just focus on your breath, that might be something that you could do as an athlete to help you catch your breath maybe a little bit faster. Now, there's a second breathing technique that I actually had maybe a little bit more success with, which brings me to my second tip to help you get through summer workouts, and that's called box breathing. So this is actually something that people use to help them go to sleep. I don't know if you've ever been saying, this is something that I use a lot because we're constantly on the road, so we're traveling from different time zones, right? And it's very important that the night before, because we do camps, right? We do camps all over the country for those of you that don't know. And for example, last weekend we were in, or I want to say it was 2 weekends ago, we were in Boston, Massachusetts, right? And so I live in Southern California. So we got up, it was a 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. flight. We fly all the way to Boston. We didn't get in until maybe about 5:30, 6 p.m. We eat some dinner, we get to the hotel, and before you know it, it's around 9 o'clock, and I got to get up early the next day at 4:45 just to make sure everything's set, ready to go for the camp, make sure all the daily things that I need to get to personally are done before the camp. And it's very important that I get, at least 8 hours of sleep, especially the night before camp, because it's very tough. And now it's tough to do when you're in a different time zone, right? So something that I picked up from a biohacker, his name's, I don't know if you call him a biohacker, but he's kind of a health guy. His name's Gary Brecka. And this is something that helps me during actual workouts that I do that are maybe conditioning based, but it's called box breathing. And what it does is it kind of calms your mind, it calms you down, and it helps you actually fall asleep. Now, obviously you don't want to fall asleep on the practice field, but it's a way to calm yourself down. And if you just focus on your breath, that can maybe help you ignore, the tiredness of your legs. Maybe you get that lactic acid buildup in your legs feel super heavy, you feel super tired. So box breathing is where you inhale. Now, normally it's 3 seconds, then 3 seconds. So it's a box. You go up, middle, and then down. But normally you don't have that kind of time during a conditioning workout. So I'm going to give you a 2-second version. So what you would do is you would inhale for 2 seconds, and then you're going to hold it for 2 seconds. You're going to hold that breath, 1001, 1002. And then you're going to exhale for 2 seconds. So it's 2 seconds in, 2-second pause, 2-second out. And if you just focus on your breath, that will actually help you catch your breath faster. It'll help you get your mind acclimated to what you're doing and focus on why you're actually there in the first place, rather than just focusing on how bad the conditioning sucks, okay? So I hope that makes sense. So those are two very easy breathing techniques that you could do to maybe help you get through the workouts a little bit easier. Now, which brings me to tip number 3. So this is something how many of you guys have heard the phrase, oh, there's no air down there, stand up tall, put your hands on your head instead, don't bend down on your knees, don't bend over, you're not going to get full air to your lungs. There have been multiple studies out there, and if you want, you could Google those studies, or you could ask me and I could send you a link to those studies in the comment section below. But that's actually false. There is no scientific evidence to you bending down is actually bad for you. That's false. That's a completely falsehood. So if you guys feel the need to put your hands on your knees, kind of bend forward a little bit, try to catch your breath, calm yourself down, that is totally fine. Now that's one thing if you know, let's say for example, a coach is like, hey, don't do that. He makes you stand up. Then obviously you can't do that, and you can just focus on those 2 breathing techniques that I told you. But don't feel any type of shame in maybe grabbing the front of your shorts, grabbing the front of your football pants, and leaning over just slightly. So again, guys, that's a very, very easy thing that you can do to help you catch your breath faster as well. But don't listen to that cliche, there's no air down there. If your coaches don't care, guys, trust me, that's actually not bad for you. You could look up a million different studies on people who have studied that and shown that that's actually not that bad for you, okay? Now, tip number 4. This is a big one. And I get a lot of athletes, whether they're youth athletes, high school athletes, college athletes, that will reach out to me, whether it's via comment, whether it's via DM, whatever the case may be, and they'll be like, hey coach, like, you know, I'm not standing out in practice. I feel like my coaches don't notice me. You know, I'm a young guy, I'm a transfer, my coaches don't know me yet. What can I do to stand out? Now, the obvious answer is gonna be, you need to perform in practice, right? During drill work, like let's say you're a receiver, for example, and there's 20 receivers. It's harder to stand out as if you're a quarterback, right? If you're a quarterback, there's probably 4 guys, maybe even less than that sometimes. It's easy to stand out during drill work, but if there's a lot of you, you may not get a ton of reps. You may not get a ton of reps in routes versus air. You may not get a ton of scout team reps, one-on-one reps. You may not get a ton of reps. An easy way that you could stand out is during conditioning. I'm telling you this right now. I took it as a personal challenge during conditioning because I was a quarterback in high school. So whenever we would do conditioning, they would throw the quarterbacks with the skill position players. So I didn't want to go with the running backs and linebackers because I felt like I would just blow everybody out of the water. I wanted to challenge myself. So I went with the receivers and the DBs, and then they started making the quarterbacks go with the receivers and DBs. But my goal was to be first every single time because most people just try to get through conditioning. Now, I know I just got done telling you 3 ways that can help you get through conditioning, maybe catch your breath a little bit faster, and definitely use those. But guys, use conditioning as a time to compete. So like guys, if you're running 40s, you should be going hard. Like at the end of the day, like you got to focus on what you're there for. People talk about this all the time when it comes to high performance, like level training, like what you got to have some intent when you're at practice. So why are you guys conditioning? It's not just to punish you guys. Sometimes it might be, but you're conditioning to get you in shape for football, right? Trying to get you in football shape so in the game you don't gas out in the 4th quarter and you have a gas tank from the first snap all the way to the last snap, right? So what are you there for? So push yourself during conditioning. I promise you, it's one of the easiest ways that you can stand out amongst the crowd and amongst your position group if you're constantly first, beating guys, racing guys during conditioning, finishing through the line. Coaches are going to turn their heads like, who's that guy winning every sprint? Who's that guy who's pushing himself out here? Who's that guy who wants to be out here, not just getting through it? And that's much easier said than done. I'm not saying that, like, you know, listen, again, I did conditioning in California. That's where I played college ball too, in California. We have great weather. And if you live in like Houston, Texas, and it's super humid and it's 100 degrees, like it's a lot tougher, much easier said than done. But at the end of the day, like that showcases to your coaches how bad you want it, how bad you actually want to be there, and that you're there to compete and you're there to get better. So that's something that can help you get through conditioning a little bit easier, is compete. Now, here's the thing, guys. You can't, like, let's say you have practice Monday through Friday. You can't just show up on Monday and be that guy. And this is where we lose a lot of people, because they realize that, like, man, if I'm going to be that dude that's winning every single sprint on Monday, that means on Tuesday, I got to be that dude again. I can't be that guy on Monday and not that guy on Tuesday, because then that's noticeable. Then they're like, oh, he was just going hard for one day. You got to be that guy every single time that you guys are doing conditioning. But I promise you, if you were looking to stand out, if you're new to a team, you're an underclassman, that's a very easy way that you can do it. Now, tip number 5, you guys, and this is a big one for you guys. Make sure that you are getting great sleep the night before and you are eating healthy. Like right now, it's the summer, you guys. Things are about to get very, very real August 1st, right? August 1st is when you start like actual fall camp, if you will. And then within like a couple days, maybe a week or so, you start putting the pads on, and then it's time to roll, man. Then you're preparing for your week 1 matchup or your week 0 matchup, right? You need to lock in. Okay, like, so that doesn't mean, like, if you're in summer workouts and you got 8 a.m. practice, you know, like, yeah, 8 a.m. practice is great, right? Because like everybody loves the morning practice. I deal with a lot of athletes and they always complain when they have summer practice at like 2 p.m. Oh, it's like, it's 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Coach, it sucks. I can't hang out with my friends. I go home and then, you know, I just got to go to bed, and then I don't have enough time in the morning to do anything fun with my friends. Like, coaches do that for a reason, guys. But if you have morning practice, like, and you're in a hot state like Arizona, and you have the rest of the day to yourself, you need to lock in. Okay, so that doesn't mean staying out late with your friends all the way till midnight and then getting 4 hours of sleep and then going to practice. So some guys stay out till 2 in the morning and then they get 2 hours of sleep or 3 hours of sleep and then they got to go to practice, because trust me, your performance and conditioning will suck. You need to rest. You need to get 7 to 10 hours of sleep every single night. For you younger guys, I'm talking 9 to 10 hours of sleep. And now here's also what's important. What you eat is extremely important for your performance, right? So let's say, for example, I know me personally, my gas tank went up tremendously when I started taking my diet a little bit more serious. I was always a guy who needed to gain weight, and I had extremely fast metabolism. But sometimes I would just eat whatever I wanted, right? I would eat, fast food at night, wake up in the morning, go to practice, maybe wouldn't even eat breakfast. I'm not saying not eating breakfast is bad, because some of you maybe just can't eat in the morning, and I get that. I totally understand that. But at the same time, guys, you need to be eating it's fuel. What you're putting in your body is fuel. So you don't want to be eating these fast food meals, pizza the night before, like you high school guys, like if you got friends that are out drinking, you definitely shouldn't be drinking alcohol at all. You should never be doing that if you're underage, in my opinion. And that's, I think, most people's opinion. However, a lot of high school guys do that because, it's the summer, they want to hang out with their friends or with their girlfriend, whatever. And listen, what you do on your own time is your own business, but I'm telling you this right now, you need to make sure that you are locked in with your diet and with your sleep, because conditioning will be easier if you're doing that, okay? And again, if you're like a lineman and you eat a lot, I'm not telling you to not eat a lot. If you're trying to gain weight, I'm not telling you to not eat a lot. I'm telling you to put healthy food in your body. So what would be a good difference of that? Like let's say for dinner, you eat a meal that's got a ton of white flour in it, right? Let's say it's a bunch of white bread, maybe you're eating pizza, maybe you're eating foods that are really have a ton of grease, right? That's not good fuel. You wake up in the morning, you're probably not going to feel the greatest. Excuse me, if you don't notice a difference, you're probably, because you've been eating like that for so long, you don't know how to feel any different. But maybe let's say the night before you're eating some brown rice, you're eating some chicken, you're eating a sweet potato, a baked potato. Those are carbs that are actually healthy, and those are slower releasing carbs. Those give you more energy for the next day, so you can get more out of your workouts. You should not be eating poorly before your workout. And definitely if you're eating breakfast or you're eating lunch before your summer workouts, it needs to be healthy food, you guys. It needs to be clean. A good frame of reference that I at least always say, this is what I try to do now in my daily life, because I try to eat. Me personally, I can't do what I do if I'm not eating healthy. If I'm eating bad, like bad food, processed food, whatever, sugar, I get a ton of brain fog and I can't think properly. So I'm not able to speak on camera. I'm not able to coach athletes as well as I have. So that's a sacrifice that I have to be able to make if I want to be good at my job. And I'm a very active guy. I work out 1 to 2 times a day sometimes. So it's like I need to be on point, right? If I'm going to be able to do my job and function and live the life the way I want to live my life. So that's, if you guys want to be on point during conditioning, you want to be on point during practice, take care of your diet. A frame of reference, single ingredient foods, chicken, eggs, steak. Don't eat the big ingredient label that's got all these processed ingredients, all these red dye, all this crap. You don't want to be eating that, you guys. That's not good for you. It's not good for your testosterone. It's not good for your sleep. It's not good for anything from an athletic performance standpoint. So if you take care of your sleep and you take care of your diet, trust me, summer workouts and summer conditioning will be a lot easier for you. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, fellas, before we get into some of your guys' questions that you left on a previous episode, if you're a QB or wide receiver watching this video and you guys would like a custom workout plan that I can make for you, go to that very first link in the description below, guys, for our new custom workout plan service. So we just started offering this on our website. We offer it every single year during the summer. So essentially what it is quarterbacks or wide receivers would be able to submit film to me. We give you instructions when you sign up about what type of film that you're going to submit. So let's say it's a quarterback. We give you specific throws that you want to see or that we want to see from you. Then we provide an audio and video breakdown. So I show your clip of film on the screen. I draw on it. You need to improve here, you need to improve here, and then we construct a fully custom-made workout plan for you guys in the gym and on the field, and it's a 2-month-long workout plan. So it's specific exercise. Monday you're doing this, Tuesday you're doing that. We provide video examples and picture examples of each exercise on the field and gym exercise. So you guys know exactly what to do and specifically tailored to you. So guys, if you're interested in that type of service, go to that very first link in the description below. That is where you can sign up. We'd love to help you improve this summer and this off season. Now, let's get into some of your guys' questions, fellas. These are questions that you guys left on a previous episode. So, fellas, if you guys got questions, stuff you want to ask me, do not hesitate. I read every single comment that we get on our YouTube channel. It takes me probably about like an hour and a half to every single day. I mean, you guys know this. I respond to you always. I always answer your questions, and we feature some of the best questions that you leave on these episodes on our next episode. So next week, we'll be including some of your questions. So guys, if you have questions, post them in the comment section below. I'd be happy to feature you on our next episode. So question number 1 from Tamarin Wallace. Hey, coach, wondering how you would lock in before a game and how to deal with trash talk and what to do. I'm in grade 6 playing, want to grade 8. The last part confused me a little bit. So how do you lock in before a game and how to deal with trash talk? So trash talk, you got to be bulletproof mentally. You got to understand that trash talk is going to happen, right? So like I was always a player that like chirped a little bit if I was getting chirped at, right? So like maybe sometimes I let that bother me a little bit, but like generally I would let my play speak for itself, but like you can't let other people's opinions affect how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. So really you just got to ignore it. Nothing pisses a dude off more who's talking trash when you don't even acknowledge him. So you just got to have that mindset that like people are going to talk, I need to ignore it. Now it's much easier said than done, especially if you're a younger athlete, but if you have dreams and aspirations of playing college football, like let's say your goal is to play Division I ball, and let's say your goal is to play in the NFL, right? And again, that's a lot of people's goal. Will everybody achieve it? No, but let's say that's your goal. You got to hold yourself to that standard, because when you play D1 college ball, like guys, like you have an Instagram, like you're going to be getting if you make a bad play, you're going to be getting DMs from fans saying to like go kill yourself and stuff like that. Like seriously, you're in the NFL, you're going to have beat writers writing all kinds of stuff about you saying like, oh, he's bad, he had a bad performance, he sucks, yada yada. So like you just got to understand like this isn't even that bad. If you got another player talking trash to you, like it's not even at the level that you're trying to get to. So if you crumble now, you're not going to be able to play at that level. You're going to crumble when the pressure is actually really on. So that's the mindset I would suggest you need to have. Now when it comes to like locking in before a game, what I would say is like this always helped me. I would sometimes psych myself out a little bit. Like I would focus on a lot of things that I couldn't control. What if the line doesn't block? What if the receiver drops a pass? You know, it's a big game. There's a crowd. But one piece of advice that a coach gave me, do your 1/11th and take it one play at a time. That is honestly, like, and I know that sounds cliche, I know that sounds simple, but if you just shift your mindset and just focus on what's your job. By 1/11th, he means that all 11 guys on the football field, offense, defense, special teams, have to do their own personal job for the play to be successful. And if everybody does their job, and let's say the play fails, that's a coaching error. So that's really all you control what your job is. So when I was a quarterback, I was thinking, okay, what's my job? Make the right read, accurate pass. It's a run play. What's the job? This is the handoff, and I'm going to carry out my fake. That's all I was worried about, you guys. Yes, there are checks that you make, like, okay, we're in this coverage, we're going to change this play, or I need to shift the protection this way. Yes, there are certain other responsibilities of your job that you need to be aware of at the quarterback position, but most positions, key in on your job. Now, when that play's over, and you did your job, or you didn't do your job, because there's two results. Either you're successful or you're not. And that's the end of the day. Like the play result doesn't care what reasons you have. Oh, I didn't do my job because of this. Nobody cares. Did you do your job or did you not do your job? After the play ends, once that play's over, like let's say it's 1st and 10 and now it's like 2nd and 7, I'm on to the next play. When I come to the sideline, coaches might have something to say and okay, I could learn from that and then I apply it back to my game. But guys, at the end of the day, what's your job? Next play. Play ended, I'm on to the next. That's the hyper focus that you need that will ultimately help you lock in. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, man. Appreciate you asking that question. Next question here from Chalk Milk. Great username. I'm a quarterback and I'm moving to a different city and school. What advice do you have for that? So if you're a QB moving to a new school, you got to make sure that you're a thermostat leader, not a thermometer leader. So you need to lead by example. Thermometer, I say this all the time on this channel. A thermometer leader tells you what the temperature of the room is. So you can't go into a situation being the new guy and try to blend in. And it's tempting to want to do because, you know, it's a lot of guys. You obviously want them to be your friend. You want them to like you. But like at the end of the day, like you need to get the job done. So you need to set the temperature of the room. And I don't mean going, that's what a thermostat does. I don't mean going in there and bossing everybody around because you have no leg to stand on because you're new. You didn't go through spring workouts. Maybe you didn't go through summer workouts. Maybe you didn't go through winter lift, whatever it is. But like you're still new to the team. So you can't go in there and boss everybody around. You need to win them over through your work ethic. So that means showing up on time to everything, being at every practice, being at every team event, being at every team meeting. And at those meetings, you're focused. I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can. At lift, I'm trying to get stronger. I'm trying to get better. On the practice field, I'm trying to get better. And they need to see your work ethic because then they start, okay, that guy's one of us. He's bought in. He's not going to come in here with an ego. And that will help you win the team over, I would say. And then they'll start following you, listening to you maybe a little bit better. Or maybe you're in a quarterback competition and then you win the team over and then all of a sudden you're the guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's my best advice for you. Go in and earn it. Don't go in and be that guy who's just pointing fingers, trying to boss everybody around and tell them what to do. Okay? All right, fellas, guys, appreciate the questions. Seriously, guys, if you have questions, you want to be featured on our next episode, post them in the comment section below. We always love hearing from you guys. We always love talking with you guys. And again, fellas, we really, really appreciate you tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.